In the mid-1980s, a man named Tom, approaching his 40s, was rebuilding his life. He had recently gone through a divorce, and now it was just him and his 2 teenage sons. One weekend, at a crowded community food festival in Newport Beach, something unexpected happened. Across the crowd, Tom noticed a woman he had never seen before. She was smiling, laughing with friends, and for a moment, everything else around him faded. He stared a little too long enough for her to notice. Their eyes met. She smiled. Tom, slightly embarrassed, did something bold. He walked straight over and introduced himself. Her name was Jackie. She was younger, warm, and instantly easy to talk to. That one conversation turned into hours, and those hours turned into something much deeper. Within a few years, they were married. But Jackie didn't just marry Tom. She stepped into a ready-made family, and she embraced it completely. Tom's sons didn't just accept her. They started calling her Mom, not because they had to, but because she earned it. Jackie had once dreamed of having children of her own, but a serious accident in her early 20s had taken that possibility away. So when she found herself in this family, she poured everything into it. And it showed. Years passed. The boys grew up and eventually moved out. For Tom and Jackie, the house became quiet, too quiet, but they had a plan. For years, they had been saving every extra dollar, living carefully, sacrificing small luxuries, all for one dream: to leave everything behind and live at sea. In 2002, they made it happen. They sold their home, bought a modest yacht, and turned it into something special. It wasn't flashy, but it was theirs. They named it Well Deserved. And for the next 2 years, that boat became their world. They sailed along the California and Mexican coastline, watched sunsets melt into the ocean, and lived a life most people only imagine. It was freedom, peace, a second chapter. Then, in 2004, everything changed. One phone call shifted their future. They were going to be grandparents. For Jackie, this meant everything. A chance to feel that connection again, to hold a baby, to be needed in that way. So they made another big decision. They would sell the boat, settle down again, be close to family. They listed the yacht and quickly found interested buyers, a young couple, friendly, eager, ready to pay cash. It seemed perfect. The deal was scheduled. Everything was moving fast. Tom and Jackie called their sons, excited, saying the sale would be finalized within days. But then, silence. No calls, no updates, nothing. At first, it didn't make sense. Then, it became terrifying, because Tom and Jackie were not the kind of people who just disappeared. Concern quickly turned into action. Family members started looking into the situation, and what they found didn't add up. The boat was no longer in their possession. The buyers claimed the deal had gone through. They said Tom and Jackie took the money, got into their car, and drove away. But there was one problem. There was no sign they ever made it anywhere. No bank deposits, no confirmed sightings, nothing. And then, small details began to surface, things that didn't feel right, a story that didn't quite line up, and a growing suspicion that this wasn't a disappearance. It was something far darker, something planned, something irreversible, because the truth was that perfect deal was never about buying a boat.